Monday, April 6th, and you're watching the Hammer Daily here on the Hammer Betting Network, presented by our good friends over at FanDuel. I'm your host, Jason Cooper, today, alongside my producer, Mike Bennett, working his way behind the boards for the next hour and a bit. And we got a great show for you today. Can't wait to get things kicked off, and we'll see how we're going to get things kicked off right here. If you look at the daily lineup, we got Corbie Craig batting leadoff for the final game of the March Madness tournament. Has it ever been a fun tournament? We've worked this entire year collectively talking about basketball all through those dirty days in December, January, February, March Madness. It was finally here, and I'm sure Corbie's going to come on. He's going to victory lap how often he gave out Michigan on this show. If you've been listening to the show for a while now, for the past couple months, you probably have some good Michigan futures in your pocket. So that's something to be excited about. Excited to talk to Corbie about that. Then after that, we got Alex Moretto coming on, talking some NHL. 4 games today, but some like pretty damn important ones. Lightning versus Sabres, obviously fighting for the first in the Atlantic. Lightning right now up 2 points. Sabres have a game ahead of them, so we'll see what happens there. Kraken, Jets. Jets are 3 points out. Kraken seem to be down and out, but what's up?
I was going to say also get his take on New York Islanders parting ways with Wall there with 4 games left.
That was
another coach out.
Yeah, crazy one down the stretch here. Then obviously we got the Blackhawks, Sharks, 1 win behind LA, Nashville, 1 game ahead, 1 game in hand. Then obviously Predators and Kings fighting for that final playoff spot. It's crazy. The West is up in arms. Predators Kings matchup kind of sucks for the teams below them, like the Sharks and the Jets, because of course the Predators and Kings, like one of those teams is going to win. Hopefully it doesn't go to overtime if you're a Sharks fan or if you're a Jets fan. Then finally we close out the show with Drunken Goon. Man, what the hell what is Italy going to do? I need to talk to Goon about this because, like, what the heck are they going to do? It's a disaster. It's a disaster, and the fix doesn't happen the next time the World Cup rolls around 4 years from now. It's got to be like a 4, 8, 12-year fix, it seems like, because it sounds like it's a developmental issue starting from the bottom, working all the way up to the national level. So we'll see what they're going to do, talk some World Cup odds, and then close out the show with some Champions League and MLS bets. I'm excited. We got a great show. Who
do you like tonight, Jay, in the final game?
I mean, I have Michigan futures, so I have to like Michigan. But I will say, the thing about this game is that Connecticut feels like they beat Illinois pretty convincingly in the Final Four. But every game leading up to the Final Four, not every game, but most games I was watching with Connecticut, it feels like UConn had this way of like just keeping it close, and especially in that Duke game, just like, I don't know how, but they're gonna do it. I had Duke in that game, and I'm like, why am I so nervous about UConn? Why do I feel like Duke's gonna mess this up? Why do I feel like they're gonna win? And then UConn goes ahead and wins that damn game. So it's like a little scary where if Michigan doesn't sort of dominate out the gate, and UConn's able to keep it tight, the underdog keeps it tight long in the game, then the underdog might win, obviously. But as a Michigan supporter today, a little nervous. I
just want to see like what meme Dan Hurley becomes from this game tonight.
Oh man, I feel like it's a prerequisite to be like absolutely insane to be a coach at UConn. Looking at the women's UConn coach. But anyways, before we bring on our friend Corbie, excited to have him on after he was on the 7-day IL last week, back from injury. Just want to remind you guys, tomorrow we've got a lot of fun happening here on this channel. Everybody knows when the Hammer puts on an extravaganza, it's must-see. And this year, we're bringing you a Masters Extravaganza hosted by the one and only Jeff Goff Feinberg. Join us tomorrow, Tuesday, April 7th at 1 p.m. Eastern Time on the Hammer HQ YouTube channel for 3 full hours, maybe longer, of live coverage. We got back-to-back guests dropping their bets and getting you set for the biggest golf tournament of the damn year. Make sure you turn on notifications so you don't miss a single bet. Once again, that's the Masters Extravaganza hosted by Jeff Goff Feinberg. Tomorrow, Tuesday, April 7th at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on the Hammer HQ YouTube channel. We will see you guys there. And the Hammer Daily will be live still, noon Eastern Time. Just going to be a shorter show. We're going to end at 12:30. Give Jeff some time, get together. He's going to be in studio. It's going to be a lot of fun. Maybe we can squeeze Corbie into the show. I don't know how much of a golf fan he is, but maybe we'll add to his title here because he's a college basketball and college football originator, as well as an NFL originator because of the NFL player props extravaganza. Hey, maybe you'll be a golf originator as well. The pride of UAB. Corbie, how's it going?
You do bring up good points, Jason. Maybe I'll have to cook up something. I am I probably have the best ROI in the NFL ever.
Ever?
Yeah, maybe ever. Some are saying it. I'm not saying it. Some are saying it.
Yeah.
We'll see. I've golfed once or twice. What do they say? The best sports bettors don't worry about the sport. They worry about numbers, Jason. So you ask me who the best player is, I got nothing. But I do know Tiger Woods was on the phone with the president, which is pretty fire. So don't think he'll be in the tournament. But if he was, I'd choose him.
I think he was trying to be, but I think with due to recent events, he might not be available. Do you like anyone to win the Masters? Pick first player that comes to your mind.
Tommy Fleetwood.
Tommy Fleetwood? All right.
Is he go? He's going, bro.
He's going. Yeah, you're good.
Is he have good odds? Is he actually like a good golfer?
I think he's a pretty decent golfer.
He just has a sick name.
He's got a great name.
Tommy's 32. Either like a soft dude or like a good name. I'm gonna go with good name here. Tommy Fleetwood.
22-1. I believe he's like in the top 10 to win, according to FanDuel here. So
what a snipe!
Not the worst like pick off the top of your head. No given odds there. So yeah, 22-1. Tommy Fleetwood. We're gonna clip that after as if he ends up winning. So should be fun.
If he doesn't win, this doesn't count towards my golf originator golf handicap. I was put on the spot.
Of course.
But if he does win it, obviously it counts, and I chose Tommy Fleetwood.
All right. Tommy Fleetwood, it is. Of course, you need to have 24 hours in the lab to get it going.
All I have to see, Jason, I'm not going to lie to you. The only thing I need to see, it's similar to baseball. I just need really tall, kind of lanky, can crush a ball, and preferably left-handed. If you can give me all those things, and maybe even a broomstick, that's like bonus points. If you use a broomstick putter, bonus points, and that's my guy.
No hockey stick putter though, eh? You're not a big Happy Gilmore fan.
No, I'm not a fan of the Canadians.
All right. Well, notably Tommy Fleetwood, I don't think he's ever won a major. Maybe chat can stat correct me.
He's due
on that one. He's due. Yeah, there we go. Due factor. Tweaking the models there. All right. Speaking of due factor, let's get into the national championship game. But first, I want to react to the Final Four. We talked a little bit. You heard me talk off the top of the show about UConn, how they're like sort of gritty and grind their way to victories and just somehow, I hate saying this, but find a way to win, like to keep it close and are able to find a way to win. They ended up beating Illinois quite convincingly, though. Do you like this UConn team? What about it has made them so successful in the tournament here? Talk to me about your reaction to the UConn-Illinois game and what you think UConn has done so well this year.
Yeah, I don't really like this team. I think if you look like from an every player perspective, like, I mean, they have decent pieces, but I don't think this is like just some unbeknownst talented team. And that's what makes it so amazing. I know you're talking about the Duke game. I had Duke in every Calcutta, Duke in every future. So I was pretty sad about that. I actually stopped watching the game, Jason, at halftime because I had to go to the airport. So I got a call that was like, "Oh my God, did you see that shot?" And I was like,
"What shot?"
No. And if you're calling me, I don't want to know about the shot. Like, there's only one way that you call me and ask if I saw the shot if I knew that the game was a 19-point game at halftime, and it's a way that I don't want to know about. So, they've gotten pretty lucky. I mean, they were 4.5-point favorites versus UCLA without UCLA's best player. So, like, that kind of shows what we're working with from a market sentiment standpoint, and they've looked awesome. So, shout out to them. I think the big thing, worry for me was like in the Illinois game. Lean towards Illinois. Dan Hurley's awesome. He's a psychopath. I still cannot believe he put his head on that ref's head. That is one of the craziest things I've ever seen. He 100%. That should have been a tech. I had Duke. I'm glad they didn't call it. That would be an awful way to go out. But that's a tech. You can't do that. I'm glad they didn't call it. That would have been it would have been an awful way to go out. But it would have been the most Hurley moment in history. But I think that the reason that Illinois was interesting to me was, I think Hurley is the best 48-hour prep coach I've ever seen. And so to give Illinois more time kind of like negates the skill that he has, but it's not negated here. The 48 hours, figure out how to beat Michigan. There's chess pieces missing. Yaxel's hurt. Solo ball's in a boot. There's all these situations that are happening. And if there was a coach I'd want on my sideline, it would be Hurley. So lean towards UConn. And I will note, I will put the biggest asterisk beside that. I have bet against Michigan in the last 4 games. Jason, do not even ask me what the final score of the last 4 games were, but just know they were pretty bad.
All right, you're 0-4 betting against Michigan. You're betting against Michigan today. We have some Michigan futures. You came on this show a couple months ago and talked up some Michigan futures, so I'm going to hope that you go 0-5. if that's okay with you. Do we have any word on Yaxel Landenbro if he's going to play? Because I read last night.
Wait. How'd you say his last name?
Landenborg?
Okay, you got it right. You said bro.
I heard Landenbro.
My bad. I flipped the R and the O.
Oh,
no. Anyways, Landenborg.
Okay.
That's a good Borg name. If anyone. Anyways, I feel like I'm too old to know what that is. Is he's playing? Not playing? What's the deal with him?
He's gonna play. I will say I have a little bit more context than I would say most media here does. Yax is I don't want to say a soft guy, but he's done this for years. He was at UAB. He would hold his back and wince down the court and then go score 30 and after the game, no, I'm fine. I think that he's just one of if you've ever watched Shohei Ohtani, he does the same thing. He makes a lot of facial expressions, gestures, things like that. So I worry less about what you saw on the court, that limp. There are players that will just play straight through a limp. There are players who will try to get a little bit of a squeeze for the juice there. And I would say Yax is probably closer to the second one. The second thing is I know we have very direct mutual friends, and from what I've heard, he is very confident that he is going to be 90% plus. Which would be very helpful. So if you were making me guess, I'm going to lean towards he is significantly more healthy than people probably give credit for. And he's good at drawing people in. He's like an influencer out on the court, Jason. You can't just hide the demons inside. You got to let people know that you're playing with a little bit of an injury. All
right, sandbag a little bit in case he does poorly, but if he does well, then it's a great story. Currently, right now,
that's the word I was looking for. I could not find it.
It's a golf term. That's why. Anyways,
that's why I don't know
it. Yaxel right now is if you think the same thing that you're thinking here, Corbie, he's 12.5. His points total set at 12.5 right now, towards the over -110 is the best price in market. So if you think Yaxel is it? Can I call him Yax? Is that what the boys call him?
Yeah, Yax. That's what the boys call him.
All right. Yeah, if you think Yax is a lot more healthy than he's letting it on here, you might like that over 12.5. I want to talk about Michigan a little bit before we. We already talked a little bit about this game, but I thought the strategy that Dusty May had in winning that game was very interesting. I don't know if you saw it. It was feel like they couldn't beat Arizona in the paint, so it's let's just lob passes off the backboard instead of trying to lob passes into the paint. Creativity, what do you rate that out of 10? Talk me through the Michigan and Arizona game.
Yeah, I'm a certified Elliot Cadeau hater. This has been noted everywhere. It's not even it's just the prowess that he got. I don't know. I a lot of those would be considered passes off the backboard, and I think that he was shooting, and people are oh, he was trying to throw it up. I disagree. I mean, it hit front rim. It would be tough for me to give him the conviction. I think we've seen this with Chris Paul in the NBA before. A lot of people get the yips when shooting when they're such good passers, and Cadeau deals with that. Anytime he gets into the paint, you could convince me that every shot he's ever taken is a pass because they just look so god awful when he's in the paint, and he has no confidence in them. I mean, one of the ones that people tried to tell me was a pass was a fast break layup, and he hit the front of the rim. He got the rebound, and he missed the layup again. No, that was not a pass. I think that he's just so 50-50 on if he wants to pass or shoot. And that's going to come into a spot where, Jason, I'll give you a bet that I took this morning on FanDuel, sponsor of the show. Look at that. I'm going to go Elliot Cadeau, 4+ made threes, plus 680 at FanDuel. Pretty simple. We've watched Hurley play this game, which is we will choose who we want to beat us. And if they do, sick. 2 years ago, they said, listen, we don't have the bodies to stop Zach Edey. If Zach Edey has 100 points, we will lose. We're going to stop every other person. Edey in that game shot 25 shots, had 37 points. He did not beat them. They won by 17. I see this game as we have the bodies to stop Mara. Yaxel Lindenborg potentially hurt. He kind of have stopped himself. If Elliot Cadeau can shoot threes and beat us, we will lose this game and we will be fine with that. So all Michigan does is sets a high pick and roll Mara to Elliot Cadeau, and Elliot Cadeau throws it from his ankle to the top of the backboard, as you saw. I think that is a double drop coverage help, and it just leaves Cadeau standing there by himself. And if you watch that game, Cadeau has some confidence shooting the three, which is something he has never had. He was shooting it as if he was Steph Curry. So 4+ threes plus I think 680 is it.
580 now. 580 now, but still a good price.
Still not bad. I think I saw Prop Builder was 410, so 580 is still looking in a pretty good spot.
All right, Elliott Kiddo plus 580 as well as Yaks over 12.5. Do you co-sign the Yaks 12.5 points minus 110 towards?
No, I actually took Morez Johnson over 10.5. I think it's 11.5 now.
Okay.
Same idea. So basically the thesis, like, when betting these type of things, especially player props, it just comes down to game schema and like thesis that you think is going to happen. I think Yaks is fine. But what is the worst case for Michigan? Is Yaks to go in fine and get hurt or re-injure or re-aggravate? Even if he's fine, him standing on the 3-point line has a gravitational pull of the defense. Like, you have to respect Yaks. He can also shoot the three. So I just see, okay, well, if UConn says Morrow's not going to beat us, they double down on those drops. Yaks is standing at the 3-point line. Morez Johnson becomes a pivotal piece to if Elliott Cadeau wants to have any assists, it's going to be Morez Johnson. If any backside rebounds, there's two people on Morrow, so Morez Johnson gets rebounds. So I see a lot of usage in Johnson there. I think at FanDuel it's 11.5 minus 05 now.
Yeah, I believe 11.5 08 right now. Yeah. All right. So you kind of gave us your thoughts on who's going to win the game, who's going to win some props for this game as well. Right now, Connecticut, Michigan minus 7.5 plus 100. You like the Connecticut side here at the plus 7.5 minus 1 to. Ooh.
I didn't bet it, but okay. I do like it.
All right, gun to your head.
I like is a strong word. If Jason came to my house and was like, you have to bet something, I would say give me the 7.5. But
all right.
Thankfully, Jason's not here, and I do not have to. So I'm just betting player.
All right. Talk to me a little bit about the tournament as a whole, because I feel like we got a lot of people talking about how like this tournament isn't the same as years past. There's not enough upsets. We've lost the magic in March. Standing ahead of this finals game here, looking back at the rest of the tournament, do you agree with that sentiment now, or do you think that was just all overblown?
It's always overblown. People hate good stuff, of course. It's always going to happen. I heard next year they're trying to make it 76 teams, which is just going to make it worse. A few things about this. First, I think this has been the common constituent for years. So here's what happens. Jason, I can tell you one for one what happens. The people who don't like March Madness right now, they say there's not upsets, there's not whatever. Ask them who was the number one team. Ask them who the number 2 team in the AP poll in December was. 100% hit rate, none of them will know. You know why? They don't watch college basketball. They just want the upsets. They just want, like, they don't actually care at all about college basketball. They're just here for March Madness. So, yeah, to those people, it probably seem boring. I mean, we didn't have Siena beat Duke. Cool, because Duke was a really good basketball team this year. So, I think it comes down to, like, if I watch the World Cup, and I watch just a favorite win every single game. Like, that is what's supposed to happen. And I'll be like, yeah, this sucks. Like, the U.S. stinks. And when all actuality is probably good soccer. So I think it comes down to who's watching the sport. But the thing is, like, at the end of the day, if you're a telecast media company, I guess you would say, you have to understand that. And my biggest takeaway, I've said this for years, is like, why the hell is this a month and a half? Like, what are we doing? I mean, we're having the championship. It's April 6th. It's not March Madness anymore. We should start calling it March April Madness. Like, what are we doing? So I think that it needs to be greatly reduced. Like, okay, Jason, what was your most fun? I could almost guarantee it was High Point in the first round.
Yes.
You know why? Because everyone was watching the first round. Name one game that happened in the second round.
Was it Vanderbilt, Arkansas? No, Vanderbilt, Nebraska. My bad. Oh, close. But anyways,
it was a big game.
But the round of 64, round of 32.
Even those are 2 days apart. So why do we go a week for the next, then 2, then a week for the next? It should all be played. I mean, these are college kids. They should all be played in 2 weeks, and we should be done. And that is the skill base. Is like a coach shouldn't have a week to prep. It's a tournament. You should have a couple days. And I've stood by that for years. This is the first year I just did not enjoy making brackets because it's just become such a mainstream thing that's like the tournament's going to take a month and a half. Nobody's going to care about their bracket.
Yeah.
Do you know who you have it? Do you know who you had in your final 4 of your bracket?
The only reason why I cared about it is because I was like I was close to winning, but ended up not winning.
Yeah, but, it's overdone. It needs to be shortened. More teams is not going to help. It just needs the time horizon needs to shorten, and then average people would care, in my opinion.
All right. I disagree with you on expanding the pool. I think it's going to be more fun because guess what? It's more games to bet on in like head-to-head, one-on, like winner-take-all style
I will say,
of games.
If they expand the pool, keep time horizon, I'm more okay because then it's more volume in the same time. Right? But if they expand the pool and because of that they make it till March 15th or April 15th.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I agree.
What are we doing here?
Yeah, get that out of here. Anyways, before you head out, pretty important day for us here today. I don't know if you know, but the Dodgers flying in to play the Toronto Blue Jays.
Oh, no.
Yeah, did you know that or no?
I have not. I've been busy all morning. Who's actually, it's a funny thing you say it is, right as I get off this, I have a meeting because everything behind the scenes is breaking. Let's see. I can tell you my number.
Yeah.
Justin W. I don't even want to try to say that. Roblinski. And the man himself, Mad Max.
Mad Max.
Do you have a total there?
Give me a sec here. Let me pull this up. Total is, I want to say
8.5 juice over.
8.5 juiced over. Yeah, you beat me to it.
I would a small bet on the over. I don't hate.
All right.
We know Blue Jays stink. Their fan base stinks. Everything they do stinks. So the Dodgers are going to score runs. No, I'm a big fan of Max Scherzer, but I make it 9.3 runs. So I will probably be betting the over in a little bit. I say that, take it with a grain of salt. Everything that I have done is broken right now, so I have meetings with the developers in just a little bit. So who knows? I might have it at 0 runs. I don't know, but my current number says 9.3.
All right, 8.5 minus 122 towards the over is what we're looking at here. No Brendan Little, notably for the Toronto Blue Jays, who has I think a 47 ERA, so that's it's pretty massive. Anyways, you're 47, not 4.7, 47.
You guys did a good job getting rid of old Bo Bichette. Is he still doing pretty bad?
He's terrible. Anyways, Corbie?
Unfortunately. You know who you should go get? Sorry, Jason, and then I'll end this. I heard Ohtani would have been a good fit for you guys.
I still have that jersey. Still have the jersey here. All right. Corbie, appreciate you joining the show. Enjoy the national championship tonight. We'll chat soon. Great stuff. Appreciate you.
All right, boys.
Awesome stuff there. From Corbie, as always, leading off the Monday morning, bringing the good vibes and the good energy. People in the chat going a little crazy. Yeah, we got a sneaky little early Ezric action here today with Alex coming on. Before we bring on Alex, though, you guys know the drill. We got to pay the bills. Shout out to our friends over at FanDuel because the Hammer Daily is brought to you by FanDuel. Right now, FanDuel is giving all customers a profit boost for the big championship game. Did you get that? You're getting a profit boost for a chance at boosted winnings on college basketball bets. Doesn't get much better than that. Build the same game parlay for a shot at bigger payout, or try live betting and jump in after tip-off. Best of all, with FanDuel, you get paid instantly when you win. Just visit FanDuel.com/forwardprogress to get started. That's FanDuel.com/forwardprogress to claim your first profit boost and keep the action going for the big championship. It's time to dance. Be a part of the college basketball history with FanDuel. Must be 21 plus and present in select states. For Kansas and affiliates, Kansas Star Casino, 18 plus present DC, Kentucky, or Wyoming. Opt-in required. Bonus issue is not withdrawable profit boost token. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 1-800-MY-RESET. Call 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut. Visit mdgamblinghelp.org in Maryland. Visit gamblinghelplinema.org or call 1-800-327-5050 in Massachusetts. Call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY in New York. Call 1-877-770-7867 in Louisiana. Yeah. If you're getting that profit boost, you might want to use it on Elliot Cadeau. 4+ made threes. Plus 580 over on FanDuel. All right. Do us a huge favor. If you're still watching the show right now, click the like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you're notified right when we go live tomorrow for the Masters Extravaganza. Up next, we got Alex Moretto. You've seen him on Edgework. He's a big Habs fan. Gets the night off tonight because his Habs are officially in the playoffs. Alex, we knew it was happening anyways, but how's it going?
It's got a nice ring to it, man. That's really nice. It's nice to clinch the playoffs on the back of a 3-0 loss on home ice to the Devils. Really nice.
Listen, there's something about seeing that X beside your name when you haven't seen it in a while. And I'm not even trying to chirp. I'm just being honest. It's just a good feeling.
I mean, we saw it last year.
Yeah, but
we saw it very late last year. Yeah, but it was. They were
this
year feels very different.
Yes,
very different. Yeah,
because
last year was can we barely make it in just so for sure losing round one. This year is who knows.
Last year it was you guys are getting slaughtered most likely. This year it's so open where it's if maybe you can just if one team can beat Tampa, it's really anyone in the East game. Let's talk a little bit about the playoffs because there's some important games tonight. Who do you want to win this game tonight? Let's start with the Lightning and the Sabres. I think I know who you want to win, it's probably the Lightning. Because if I had to guess, are you more afraid of the Lightning or the Sabres in the playoffs?
I mean, so obviously I'm way more afraid of the Lightning. So there's like several reasons why I would want the Lightning to win this game. Obviously, I don't want the Habs to play Tampa. I don't think that they can beat Tampa. I don't want to have to deal with that in round one. I also think that they can beat Buffalo and also get home ice over Buffalo. Like, they're right there. They're tied on points, same amount of games played, right? If they end up playing Tampa, it's going to be for sure they're going to be on the road in game one. And also, like, Jason, if you've been listening to me at all, or maybe you've been tuning me out, I don't know.
What was that? Sorry, what was that?
Pretty invested in Lightning Atlantic stuff. Yeah. So really need this one to come through. 3-point game is, like, obviously not ideal for the Habs, but like Tampa could just win in overtime, even lose in overtime. They'll be in good shape still, because then they'll still get a point up with the game in hand. So, like, whatever. But got to be mindful of the fact, like, Tampa goes to Ottawa tomorrow on a back-to-back. It'll be Johansson. So, like, that game in hand might end up being an L anyways.
All right. Anything you like in particular of this game outside of, like, your own personal needs where you want Tampa Bay to win? Tampa right now -120 on the road in Buffalo. Totals at 6.5, juiced under. Anything you like in terms of side or total in this game?
So I'm pretty interested in an under at this point. I haven't bet it yet. I kind of want to see if over money still continues to come through. So, like, we've seen a little bit of over money throughout the morning. Nothing like crazy, but it's ticked up enough. I mean, like, the Sabres have been a pretty average team for a while now. Like, they kind of continue to play like an average team. So I think the price here is pretty fair. Like, I think Tampa should be favored on the road, and I don't think there's anything to do with that. But in terms of, like, the under, Sabres, that again, they've been playing like an average team for a while. They are an average team. They're starting to lose games, not because their numbers are dropped off. They're continuing to post pretty average, slightly above average numbers. Just their shooting percentage, which was, like, insane, is starting to fall off the cliff now. So, like, that plays into this a lot. There were obviously a lot of fireworks the last time these two teams played, where, you know, we got that 8-7 game. It was a pretty crazy game, tons of fights. I would expect a lot less tonight, at least in terms of, like, goals. Johansson obviously started that last game. He was terrible. -3 goals saved above expected in it. Lightning are basically just rounding into sort of playoff form here, where, like, they're giving up very little defensively. They're fourth in expected goals against per 60 at 5-on-5 over the last few weeks. So, like, really just tightening things up. Sabres numbers have been pretty solid defensively. Offensively, they're very average, just not shooting the lights out anymore. So, like, yeah, I think goals will be fewer and far in between here. I haven't bet it under yet because I want to see if this keeps going a little bit, but, like, there's a -105 out there, which is really good. -108, which I like too. I'd be okay at the -110 as well, but I think you can do better. So I'm going to bet it under for sure here, just kind of waiting to time when I'm going to enter the market.
All right, under 6.5 for the Lightning and Sabres game. Quickly just touching on the Lightning here because I feel like it's relevant to them. Currently on FanDuel, Art Ross Trophy. Kucherov is odds-on favorite at -185. I know that he has, I don't know, I think it's one game in hand over the over Connor McDavid and the Oilers. Feels like it's that's a little wrong here. I think Connor McDavid should probably still be first at +165. Should be the odds-on. Do you agree with that? Do you think Nikita Kucherov, considering, of course, if it's a tie, it's dead heat, right? So do you have any opinion here on the Art Ross Trophy winner?
Yeah, that's a good point. I do think the game at hand obviously matters, but, like, that's not maybe to that extent. I'm just trying to pull up their remaining schedule here. So the Oilers play Utah, which is a tougher game tomorrow in Utah. Then they play San Jose, who, I mean, that game could get silly. But, like, the way San Jose's been playing lately, maybe not as sure about that. And then the Kings, and then Colorado, and then Vancouver. Yeah, man. I mean, Kucherov probably wins it, but off the top of my head, I would say there is a little bit of value there, probably on McDavid.
All right, I see a plus number at the guy who's leading in the Art Ross race with, like, 3 games left.
Yeah.
5 games left. I feel like that's just like, eh. And that guy just happens to be Connor McDavid as well. Anyways, let's
move. I mean, happens to be the best player in the world. Yeah,
like it's not like he's, like, got, like, a crazy lead on points. It's like, oh, I don't know if he can keep up with Kucherov. I think if there's anyone who can, it's probably him. Anyways, Kucherov's had an insane season. Let's move over to the next game, though. The Kraken and the Jets. Jets, like, we need this for so money. Jets are fighting to stay alive here. 3 points out of a playoff spot. Anything you like in this game?
Yeah, I got nothing in this game. This is like definitely last chance for the Jets. So they're 3 points back with 6 games left, so it's not like impossible. But they have to jump 4 teams, which is so like your margin for error is basically nothing at this point. You have to come close to winning out. I think you're paying a little bit of a premium on them because of that here. But there are a few teams I have less of an appetite to bet than Seattle. So I got nothing in this game. If it keeps ticking towards the over a little bit, maybe like I'd get in an under 6 at like -110, but I don't imagine we'll get there.
All right, next game is Chicago and San Jose. Of course, San Jose in a similar position to Winnipeg. They're 2 points out from the playoffs here, but they have a game in hand between Nashville and LA. But the problem is Nashville and LA play each other, which we'll talk about in just a second. So they definitely need to pick up a win here. Do you think this game can get a little bit silly? Total's at 6.5 right now. Juice towards the under -118. Chicago and San Jose.
Yeah, there's always the potential for it to get silly, I'd say, when you're looking at both these teams. But, I mean, I still want to bet an under here. And maybe I'm crazy, but I do want to be pretty price sensitive. So, like, I'm hoping to get a -110 on an under 6.5. We're at -112, I think is the best now, which I would bet a little smaller. I bet -115 is a little smaller too, but I'm really hoping for a -110 to get a full bet in on this. Like, I think just offensively, both these teams just leave so much to be desired. The Sharks are dead last in expected goals for per 60 at 5-on-5 in their last 10 games. They're also 4th in expected goals against per 60, so they've been good defensively. Like, they're playing some pretty low event games despite what sometimes these score lines are suggesting, and that's got a lot to do with the fact that their goaltending has just been miserable. Like 878 save percentage over that span. They're not getting saves right now. Hopefully that matters a lot less against the Blackhawks team that is just an abomination offensively. Like, they are dead last in expected goals for per 60 since the Olympic break at 5-on-5, and like by a decent margin too. They're just not generating anything. They're really struggling to score. But again, like, the way these teams play hockey, it could get silly. So I do want to be very wary of price. So I would like to see a -110 here to really get involved.
All right, -110 on the under 6.5 is what we need in the Blackhawks and Sharks game. Let's move over to the Predators and the Kings. Kings tied for that last playoff spot, but they don't have the tiebreaker, so the Predators are ahead. If they can win this game, they will be in the playoffs. The Kings, notably, 31 of 32 teams with regulation wins. 19 regulation wins in 76 games. Only team that has less regulation wins is the Vancouver Canucks, which is insane. But the Kings might make the playoffs here. Talk me through this game. The Kings are favorites right now, -137 at FanDuel. Totals at 6, flat 6, -120 towards the under. Alex, you're a Kings supporter. You think they got this?
I'm certainly not laying it with them here. I have no interest in laying -130 with the Kings. They make everything so difficult. Like, I haven't even seen a price on what, the 3-way tie is here, like game to go to overtime, but it just I'm sure it's not something that would have value, but like, I just instinctively, like, you just feel like this has to be going to overtime. The way the Kings play all their games, the way, like, how important this game is to both teams. I don't know. The Preds are playing a lot better than the Kings, I would say. I declared them kind of dead a few days ago because they looked dead, and then they back-to-back games against the Sharks and the Kings have now put them back in the driver's seat. So, like, I don't know what it's like. They played those East teams and they were terrible, and then they come back and play these teams, in the West, and they look like world beaters again. They're on a 10-1-3 run against teams from the Western Conference, and in that same time frame, they're 1-7 against teams from the East. So I think it's just further evidence about how much of a disgrace the Western Conference is. I bet over in this game a little, early 5 -125. I think 6+ money is okay for a smaller bet, and that's about all. I wouldn't fault anyone for wanting to take the Preds, but I obviously need the Kings here. So if you have been tailing me and betting the Kings to make the playoffs at several different spots, then I would not blame you if you wanted to hedge a little bit with some Nashville here. But I'm just gonna let it ride and go Kings. This team has, my God, they have zero. I have zero confidence in them. They so much is probably dancing on my grave pretty soon here when they're officially eliminated. But they just make everything so much harder than it needs to be.
Just declare them dead, then maybe you'll have a chance here. Declare them dead. Just give up on it. Mark it as a loss, and then that's it. Before you head out, just quickly, Patrick Waugh out as the head coach of the Islanders. Pete DeBoer in. Kind of pissed. Wanted Pete DeBoer as the Leafs' next head coach, but we're seeing a new trend here. I don't know if it's a new trend. We've seen it recently. First Torts, now DeBoer. Is this something we might be seeing like closer in the near future? Head coaches struggling down the stretch, being fired this late in the season. What do you make of the Islanders doing it at this point with only, 4 games left in their season?
So quickly, I do think that the Isles needed to make this change because I don't think this is a great hockey team and their numbers have been pretty ugly. They're not playing well. They basically just like coasted on elite goaltending and, elite play from Schaefer. Like they're playing Schaefer like it's just an inordinate amount of minutes. And I think we're finally seeing that really start to catch up to him. Like he was -2 the other night, -3 the night before that. Like he's really starting to struggle now. The points aren't really coming. And that's not a knock on him. That's just a knock on his usage, I would say. But like Waugh is not a great coach, and DeBoer is a clear upgrade. So, like, good for them for, if they felt like they had to strike now to get him, and good for them. I do feel a little bit for Waugh here because I feel like this is on Darsh a little bit too, because the expectations were that, like, they're a playoff team because of the fact that they were in a playoff spot, near the deadline. But that's because their goaltending was so good. They were not playing like a playoff team. They've never at any point in the season been, like, a good team. And then Darsh goes and trades for Shen and, just raises that bar of expectation. And they've been struggling since. But like their numbers haven't exactly dropped off. This is just the team they've been this whole time. So I feel like Darsh should get more of the blame. But you're not going to fire, your first year GM late in the season like this. And I don't think he should be fired. I just do think that he has some warts that and he's made some mistakes. But feel for Wall. Big upgrade for them. A little bit too late, though. They're not going to make the playoffs.
Yeah. All right. Before you head out here, people are asking you, who's the favorite? I don't want to say your favorite guest you booked, but the most shocking guest you booked. Do you think that the people might be either excited about or shocked about for the Masters Extravaganza tomorrow? Because everyone's saying you probably, and you did most likely, cook. I can confirm you cooked.
So maybe I shouldn't give away the lineup is unreal.
It is. I saw it.
And and maybe I don't want to. I just want to take the credit for it. But Jeff booked every single guest.
Oh,
I did not book anything.
Okay,
Jeff booked the whole show.
Okay,
so that's it. I want to take credit for it, but I won't. Jeff did all of it. Jeff has all the ins in the golf community, and I worked with him to like coordinate timing and all that stuff. But Jeff booked the entire show, so that should tell you how good the lineup is because Jeff knows anyone and everyone in the golf world. He did a much better job than I would have.
A little annoyed he didn't book Cust, but that's okay. That's okay. Anyways, before you go, chat's asking you to tell us if the Jack Adams Cooper bets are going to be okay.
I hope so.
I hope so.
I hope so. I think so. I think like he deserves it. Win tonight would go a long way to helping us get there.
All right.
I'll say that.
Let's get a
win tonight.
Let's get a win tonight then. Alex, appreciate you joining the show. We'll chat tomorrow.
Hey, yeah. See you guys.
Awesome stuff there from Alex. As always, don't be afraid, guys. Edge work is still happening tomorrow. I'm excited to talk through all those games. We'll see how So Money's going to be tomorrow. Maybe he'll be dancing and happy, or he'll be a little bit sad. I feel like that all hinges on the Predators-Kings game. Also, Kraken Jets game, because So Money's going to retire if the Jets can. Well, the Jets need to win the Stanley Cup for him to retire, but he needs to make the playoff first. Anyways, do us a favor. Before we get into our next guest, smash the like button. It goes a long way. Also, click that subscribe button as well. Click that notification bell to be reminded when we go live. If you forget, tomorrow, noon Eastern time, Hammer Daily. After that, 1 p.m. Eastern time, Masters Extravaganza, 3 hours straight. So if you haven't told your boss yet you're taking the day off, make sure you do that before you leave work today. All right, let's bring on our next guest here. Football knower, as seen on Forward Progress. Adrian, Drunken Goon. How's it going?
Pretty good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm okay. The Italy pain has rubbed off a little bit, so I'm not too hurting anymore. But it was fresh last week. That's what I want to talk about and lead with today. We finally know all the teams in the World Cup. But before we talk about the World Cup, Italy, what's the problem? How do we fix this? What has to change moving forward for them to not, for them to just make a World Cup, which is a crazy thing to say. Do they have to host? Is that the only solution here? Is they have to be a host country?
Come on, there's no problem with Italy.
You and I are watching two different sports. If that's the case, what needs to be done? Seriously, talk me through this here. It's a development thing. Is it a league thing? Like what's going on?
I like to be optimistic. They have their U20 that 2.5 years ago they were in the final of the World Cup U20. So there's talent there. The problem is that with all the imports playing in the league, there's very little space for Italian youth players to get an opportunity. So unless you're one of the starlets that kind of gets groomed by the club and gets promoted, it's hard for them to break in, and that slows down the development. There's a lot of quality players in the Italian league that can play. It's just they've been unlucky. Let's put it that way. They should make the World Cup, and if they don't pick up that red card, they're in. If Keane puts away that chance on the breakaway in the second half, they're in. And then once he gets to the penalties, it's a lottery.
Yeah.
Credit to Bosnia, but Italy was the better team.
Yeah, I think I agree with that. Even though it felt like the onslaught of Bosnia was there, like Italy was able to persist and sort of quell the storm there. That winger for Bosnia was I don't know, he's 19 years old, looked really good. I don't know much about
Bajraktarevic?
Yeah, that guy with the hair. He was crazy. Anyways, gave me a couple sweats.
He's an MLS guy. He played in the MLS, and then
no way.
He's at PSV now in Holland.
Okay, all right.
American born.
All right, maybe we'll see more of him here in Canada for the first game of the World Cup, Canada versus Bosnia. Let's talk about the World Cup, though. Now that we know the final teams in the tournament, take a look at the odds boards. Tell me if there's anything you like, anything you feel like there's mispriced. Talk me through this tournament as a whole now that we have everything locked and loaded, ready to go for the World Cup.
Yeah, just looking at the odds before the draw versus the odds, just the current odds, and there's been some movement. Like Spain was 410 before the draw, they're 440 now. France went from 700 to plus 500 now, so the money's been trickling on France, which makes sense. Some of the teams that have moved the other way, Uruguay went from 30 to 1 to 65 to 1 available right now. Makes sense because they haven't really shown anything since the Copa America, but they're still a dangerous team. So 65 to 1 is getting close to bettable. On the other hand, Italy went from 35 to 1 to no price.
You didn't need to put that. I mean, we know that. We knew that. Yeah. You didn't have to add that.
Interesting one. Croatia went from 60 to 1 to 80 to 1 now. So there's a little bit of value there as well. One that kind of happened over the last couple of weeks was Japan. They were 60 to 1 before the draw, went up to 75 to 1, and now they dropped to 50 to 1 because they beat England. To be fair, England played with their third stringers in that game, so I wouldn't put too much stock into that move. But Japan is a team that can play, so keep an eye on them. The other one that collapsed pretty big was Morocco from 75 to 1. They're down 40 to 1 now. Another dangerous team that can play, and they have a draw that they could get ahead of Brazil in that group. I wouldn't be shocked if they did that, and if they do, then they have a pretty good path in the tournament. All
right. Appreciate that breakdown there. Anyone you like in terms of the top, let's call it 6 teams here between Spain, France, England, Argentina, Brazil, Germany, all Spain, like you mentioned, plus 440 all the way to Germany, who are 11 to 1. We'll throw Portugal in there as well. If you had to click on one of those teams to win the World Cup, who would it be and why?
That would probably be France. I just feel like they, even though they lost to Spain at the Euros, they are one of the teams that have so much depth that they can play with anybody. And when they get that press going, it's difficult to break them down.
All right, let's move on and talk some Champions League. We got some pretty big games coming up. Talk me through what your favorite game is of this upcoming round. Anything you got in terms of bets for us this week?
I think all the games are interesting. Real Bayern, Real's coming in with some injuries. Courtois, Mendy, and Rodrigo are all out. Bellingham has been banged up. He played a few minutes before the international break. He was rested for England, and then he played maybe 30 minutes at the weekend. So he's not going to start, but it's good for him to be back and get some time off the bench. It was ugly for Real against Mallorca. They went behind. They thought they tied it and got a point late, but then they conceded in added time. So they're not coming in at full strength. The problem is that their defense is so banged up that they weren't even able to rest anybody. So what you see is what you get from game to game. Backup keeper and an inexperienced left side midfielder. Up top, you got Mbappe and Vini, so they have the potential to score at any moment. So I would not underestimate them. For Bayern, they rotated heavily at the weekend as well. They went down 2-0 to Freiburg. and ended up winning 3-2 with a couple of goals from their left back, and then Musiala and Davies came off the bench and contributed as well. So they didn't have Olise to start, and also Kane was out, Jackson was out, so it was a makeshift lineup for them. But somehow they pulled it off, and now they should have all of those guys back. So Kane is still banged up, but he's likely to start against Real. I have a small play on Bayern minus a quarter, minus 102. I think they're the better team. I know I went against Real at home versus Man City and got embarrassed, but I think it's slightly different here. Bayern is a better team, and I think they take care of business.
All right. Any concern that the wife of the referee is like a big Madrid fan for for this game?
Unless she's just working far. No concerns.
I saw a little bit of that on Twitter of like some Instagram pictures that she posted of her and the head ref there and saying like
I'd be in trouble,
yeah, hopefully not.
Any games because I tend to put on different shirts and different clubs and
that's all right.
Discriminated against anybody.
Yeah. All right. Any other games you like? I know you gave us that play on Madrid and Bayern. Bayern minus a quarter, minus 102. Any other games you like? Sporting, Arsenal, PSG, Liverpool, Barcelona, Atletico.
Yeah, I have. So we're looking to go through every game. Sporting, Arsenal. I don't have a play on. There's some injuries. The captain for Sporting is out, Hillman, for suspension. They are getting some players back up top. It's a game that Arsenal should win, but they have their own problems as well. Trossard, Gabriel, and Rice trained today or last night, I believe, while Saka, Eze, and Timber and Hincapié were all out. So this Arsenal lineup is going to be interesting. Last minute changes, you can see their two wingers fluctuate, Madueke or Saka on the right, or Trossard or Martinelli on the left. So it's not set in stone. They won 5-1 at Sporting last time they met in Champions League. It won't be this easy this time. Sporting are making some changes to bring in center back the pass to play defensive mid, so it's going to be a pretty tight defensive lineup. But I don't know if they can stop Arsenal. Arsenal's got those set plays and they can score as well. So no play there. But I think Arsenal eventually pulls off the tie. I don't know if they're going to win the opener.
All right. Any other plays in the other two games you have, or?
Yeah. So Barcelona, Atletico. I got this one. Not for the faint of heart. I'm playing the under 3.5 minus 115.
Okay.
They just played at the weekend. Barcelona won 2-1. Atletico was the better team in the first half. They went ahead 1-0. Barca tied it, and then red card for Nico Gonzalez, which kind of changed the momentum and the whole shape of the game. Barca dominated the rest of the way, but it took them till very late to win it. They got the winner from a deflection off Lewandowski. I think Barca at home is going to push the pace, but playing with a high line is dangerous against Atletico. I expect Atletico to just kind of bunker down and then try to defend and take it 0-0, 1-1 to Metropolitano and try to take care of business at home. I don't think we'll see a lot of goals, even though Oblak is questionable for Atletico in net. The backup Musso was spectacular at the weekend, and they won't lose anything if he doesn't play. So under 3.5, but it's going to be a sweat. So better just turn it off and check the score at the end.
Anytime you bet an under, that's kind of what you got to do in these games. But we'll turn it off and we'll watch next week's games. Any other plays you got for us, or you want to flip over and talk MLS before you head out?
Yeah, so I got to play on PSG, Liverpool as well. Not like me to have a play on every game, but it's PSG minus a half, minus 128, or minus 3/4 around evens. Either one works. Just Liverpool got smoked 4-0 in the FA Cup to Man City at the weekend. They did rotate a couple of guys there without their starting goalie, as well as a bunch of guys long term. They're getting Frimpong and McAllister back into the lineup for this one, but PSG is just a juggernaut, and I think at home they take care of business. Even though Liverpool won 1-0 at PSG last year, I think that was a bit of a warning, and PSG will take care of business here.
All right, PSG to take care of business. I'm not even going to try and pronounce this guy's name, but any interest in like the top goal scorer market at all for?
Kvaratskhelia.
Yes. Yes. Any interested in? He's currently 40-1. I know that like PSG has a pretty good path to get to the top goal scorer market, to get to the finals here. But Mbappe, obviously, minus 220. Might be a little bit tough. But do you like him at all at 40-1 with, I think it's like he's got 7 goals so far? Yeah, 7
I have
goals.
not looked, to be honest. I have not looked at the market. How far behind is he? Like 2 goals?
I think so, yeah. Let me just pull up the rest of the goal scorers here. But, yeah, I was just wondering if you had any opinion on that. If not, no worries. We can just skip over and talk.
Yeah, no opinion. Question is, like, he doesn't always take the penalties. Sometimes Vitinha does. Sometimes he does. And, I'd probably stay away from that.
All right, let's flip over. I know you have your MLS stuff. Talk us through your MLS, anything.
Okay, so let me...
you got the unzip. Is that
change.
Portland? What is that? It's Austin. Okay.
Austin, yeah. I got to give Austin a little bit of credit because they went into Miami. They had the opening of the Miami Stadium, and they went in there and they got a result. Credit to them. That was probably the best road game I've seen Austin play in the MLS in the last 3-4 years. They actually took the game to Miami and got the first goal. Should have had a penalty, and in the end they kind of held on and survived for a draw. But good credit to them for kind of pissing Messi off on his season inauguration.
All right, I love the wealth of jerseys you have. I think next time you got to get one of those standing like little display cases. Yeah, so we can see all the jerseys you have in the background here. Are you wearing the Austin jersey? Does this mean you also have a bet on them this week? Is that part of the reason?
You got it.
Right.
So Austin minus a quarter plus 109 at home to the Galaxy. As always, Galaxy on the road is a bit of a mess, and Austin have been pushing the tempo, and they've got some guys that can finish. I think they take advantage of that Galaxy defense and win. The Galaxy have some issues in that as well. They've been flipping goalies, so it's never good when you have two starting goalies. You have no starting goalie.
Of course. Any other things you got? Any other plays you got for us in the MLS here, or do you want to just? I
got 3 more plays in the MLS.
Yep. Hammer through them
Nashville, over 2.5 minus 110. Note that Nashville's playing CONCACAF Champions Cup in midweek, so that might have some impact on that. LAFC has been a juggernaut. They've had their 6th straight shutout, I believe. They won 6-0 at the weekend. Minus 130 over Portland, or minus 3/4, minus 105 or so. And finally, San Jose minus a half, minus 103 over Kansas City. We just keep fading Kansas City.
All right. I think someone in the chat said we keep feeding KC. Another win, anti-sporting KC.
It's automatic.
It's automatic. Right? Not fully automatic, but pretty close.
Until it gets ugly, we keep trying to cash in.
Ride the train until the wheels fall off. Goon, appreciate you joining the show. We'll chat soon. Appreciate you. Talk next week.
Thank you.
Great stuff there from Adrian. As always, Drunken Goon. As we creep ever so closer to the World Cup. It's all right. We have MLS to fill the time. We have Champions League to fill the time if you enjoy soccer. All right. That wraps up today's show. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Do us a favor. Smash the like button. Goes a long way here on the channel. If you're new to the channel as well, hit that subscribe button. Turn on notifications because tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern time, we have our Masters Extravaganza. And to tell us a little bit more about the Masters Extravaganza, maybe give us a little bit of a teaser of the guest list, we have the one, the only, Jeff Feinberg.
Jason, how are you?
I'm good. I'm excited. I asked, Moretto was on the show earlier today. I said, Alex, I don't want you to leak anything in terms of guest list, but who's your favorite guest that you booked? And he said, well, Jason, I didn't book anybody. It was all Jeff.
Yeah, I did.
I saw the list. It's a good list. Is there someone you want to tease, leak, anyone you want to preview to give like the people a little bit of a teaser for what they can expect?
It's a fire list.
It's a fire list. I saw the list. You don't have to convince me.
I don't know if you're just glad-handing me
No,
or
I'm
if you
serious.
even know who the people are.
I'll pull up the list right now. I have it in my shared documents. You want me to show you the list?
No, but I don't know if you even know who the people are.
I know a lot of them, and I've looked a lot of them up. Here's the list. Look, see?
Yeah. No, it's pretty exciting. And the empties, they're filled. They're just floating.
Yes,
I just needed
in terms
to just
of when
get
they're going to go.
One person to sign off, makes the final puzzle pieces come into play. I'm super excited. We're going to be going 4 hours, maybe even a little more.
Yeah.
Maybe a little more. Don't get too
I'm
hungry.
okay with that.
But guests every 8 to 10 minutes, loaded in the chamber with a prop bet that we will hold them to, because I don't want to like have people. I'm not going to hold someone to their outright pick, right? So a lot of these guys, but from Golden Pants to Rufus Peabody, Rick Gaiman, Skylar Hook. I mean, we're loaded. We're loaded.
I do have a problem with this. One, I don't see a slot for myself, which is fine.
Aren't you working it with me?
Yeah, but like I want my own time slot.
We'll get you in there.
Okay, that's okay. And then 2, no cust?
No, Cuss got to work. No, there's no. I've never done an independent project with Cuss.
Okay, why?
I don't know. We just save our magic, I guess.
All right, that's fair. That's fair. You didn't want to see the fireworks of me and Cuss on the screen together, I guess, is what you're...
No, Cuss would be very polite and cordial, but no. Maybe, if this goes off, maybe we'll do one again.
Maybe some more.
I could have invited more people, but the problem is I felt like at 4 hours it was already long, and it doesn't have like the shelf life. We lose a couple days, like say the Super Bowl show.
Yes.
Because we tee off on Thursday morning.
Yes.
So I could have like competed with Rob. I could have even passed Rob. I could have even gone like 6 hours.
For your bladder's sake, you don't want to do that.
Well, I'm going to piss.
Yeah, okay. Well,
Rob sometimes doesn't piss. I'm going to piss. So that's maybe where you'll come in. But my point being is, what am I going to make a 6-hour show that expires in a day and a half?
That's a good point.
Like 4 is pretty long enough. As much as there's people I wish I could have also included, but I think it's going to kick ass. The prop markets are starting to show up. I don't know that we're going to like market move.
I think
like Pizzola does, but I think
some
we're
people.
gonna. Yeah,
I think some people will.
We got market.
I know for a fact some people.
We've got market movers, but I don't think we're going to market move like the Super Bowl extravaganza. But we'll see.
Yeah, and also for the people watching, sometimes like when we do these extravaganza shows, so many people pile onto the same bet at the same time at FanDuel that it'll just automatically move, and then a minute later it'll just come all the way back. So just if you're not in at the number, make sure you pay
just
attention.
take a breath.
Yeah, and
it'll
most
rise
likely
back
come back
because someone's going to play the other side.
Exactly.
But no, I don't want to. I don't want to like toot my own horn too much, but I think the list bangs.
I agree.
I think this guest list bangs.
I agree, and I think it's.
And I'm sure maybe on the socials tonight, you boys will start like previewing it out. I don't know, hour by hour.
I don't have a rollout for it. I have no. I told me. I'm just the cog. I don't know. I don't have access to that stuff. So
I don't know what you're talking about.
Anyways, maybe it'll go so well. We'll have a PGA Championship, U.S. Open, and an Open Championship one as well. We'll see. Jeff, appreciate you. I know you got to get out of here. Circle Back is live right now, 1 p.m. Or not right now, but in 2 minutes, 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern Time, April 7th. Right here on the Hammer HQ YouTube channel, we got the Masters Extravaganza. I'm excited for it. You love being on the phone during the show.
I got money. It's Masters Monday. The markets are moving. I'm trying to figure out which syndicate is bet my Minwoo Lee future down to 35-1.
We also got we gave out Tommy Fleetwood today to win the Masters from Corbie, who's never watched golf in his life. He just liked his name.
That's good. That would make me happy. Unrelated to betting, Tommy Fleetwood definitive 1A, 1-1 pick for me to want to see win the Masters.
All right, I love it. Go head over to the Circles Off YouTube channel right now to watch Circle Back. Jeff is going to give out his first round leader on the show. No, that's just a joke. He just gave me a dirty look. Anyways, appreciate you guys joining the show. Do us a favor, smash the like button. Goes a long way here on the channel. You're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. Ring that notification bell to be notified right when we go live. Because we're normally live noon Eastern Time, but sometimes we'll do something fun like this. And we might not be live at noon Eastern Time. 1 p.m. Eastern Time again tomorrow for the the Masters Extravaganza. Comment down below what you thought of today's episode. And if you're listening on audio form, do us a favor. Rate, review. 5 stars. Goes a long way. Appreciate you guys. Shout out Jeff. Shout out Goon. Shout out Moretto. Shout out Corbie. Shout out Mike. Shout out you guys for tuning in throughout the entire show. Appreciate you guys. This has been the Monday, April 6th edition of the Hammer Daily here on the Hammer Bang Network, presented by FanDuel. We will see you guys right here tomorrow.